Hey everybody, welcome back into Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. We're talking the end of school year, and we're talking Edie White and what a year it was in Thibodaux. With, and I guess with everybody, we have Michelle Chesson, who was the principal, 11 years in. Seems like just the last couple of years were 11 years, but Michelle's here, the principal at Edie White, and Luke Dietrich, who's the senior class president and graduating senior. I guess you did okay in your final, so you're moving on, right?
Just fine.
First of all, guys, thanks for being here. We know it's been a heck of a couple of years, but particularly this year. And Michelle, let's start with just this year. It started out with a platooning system with Vanderbilt 6 weeks on your campus. Started off with a big storm coming off of 2 years of COVID. What was it like this year to get through this school year?
It was one of, I guess, the biggest joint efforts and probably one of the proudest moments in our school. When we started in August, we had a break in the summer, it seemed like, with COVID. So everyone was hopeful we were going back to normal, and things still weren't normal, and we started the year in masks. But 3 weeks in, we were adjusting, and then once Ida hit, everything just came to a halt. The students were really concerned they wouldn't have fall sports seasons, music seasons, and we were able to return 3 weeks later. Vanderbilt was not, obviously. So when that decision and plan was made, we really had to rally the troops and say, how can we make this work? And we knew it was only for a short period of time, 6 weeks. So from, just the top down at the diocesan level, the Vanderbilt administration, faculty, students, our students, it worked. And we made the best of a very difficult situation.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier. I mean, the only thing usual was being unusual, right? And I think everybody kind of benefits from that in a little bit, right? A little way. Luke, you were saying this was probably more of the most normal year you've had, even though it didn't start out that way. It started out with another school on your campus, although that's more little girls running around. No, I'm just joking, but that's totally inappropriate too. So sorry about that. But no, just to have another group of students on your campus. You said it finished almost the most natural school year of all of them.
It started off weird, like going to practice every day, and I would come to school early, so I would go to just get my stuff ready for football, and it would just be weird seeing all these people. Like, I mean, I know a couple people from Vanderbilt, but I don't know everybody, so it was weird seeing all of them on like a campus that I'm used to only seeing people that I know everybody.
Right. And it's not like that they're your rival or anything.
Yeah, that too.
Any kind of way, which is good. And, a lot of times then you realize you're a lot more closer than you think sometimes, right? Some of those can just be on the field stuff, which is healthy too, in a way, right? To be competitive like that. But Michelle, talk a little bit about the rest of the year. And after you got going, I guess the kids are always more flexible than we think they are. And I think they probably picked up and probably ended up with a pretty good year. Huh?
They did, and we used the word resilience quite a bit, and they were very resilient, and they did not take one day for granted. So we saw, and especially, I'm so proud of Luke and his leadership this year, but with the senior class, they took advantage of everything that happened. So when we were able to return to school dances, to senior week, dress up days, they were all in. And participation was at an all-time high. School spirit was at an all-time high because they aren't banking on having next year anymore. Right. So we saw that message being sent from the seniors to the underclassmen. Do life and do it all out right now, because you're not guaranteed that senior year or normal year. So it was a strong finish.
Yeah, it seems like there's always some kind of tragic moment, right? Hopefully this year there was not that kind of deal that you have to deal with. It's always something you have to deal with. But Luke, what do you think about the students? You think everybody's kind of, it's like, did we get cut short of a school year or a high school experience, or is everybody feel fulfilled?
I think, especially as my class, we haven't had a normal year since our freshman year.
That's kind of what I'm talking about. Yeah.
So I think it was kind of cut short. Like we had to cancel a lot of things. Like, we didn't have our first prom, so we didn't know what to do for our next one. But it was but I think a lot of the students knew that they still have to make the most of it. Like, this is definitely, like, the student section for football games was easily the best I've ever seen it. It looked so fun and amazing up there. So I definitely think that they took advantage of, even though we didn't have as much time as we did a while back, they definitely knew that they had to take advantage of all the time that they had
Yeah,
and make it as fun as possible.
didn't hurt that y'all had one of the best teams in the state either. But
That too.
that was
true.
pretty good. And look, as a guy that played in '78, played in the 1977 state championship game, we got beat, right? We still talk about that game. So it's something that you guys are going to have for the rest of your life, for sure. But that set the tone, right? So,
did.
I mean, you guys are always a nice, tight knit community over there, but it set the tone for a great school year, boys and girls, right?
It did. It did.
So a lot of them be ready to go off to college now?
They are our senior class. We're so proud of them. They earned $4.5 million in college scholarships before TOPS kicks in. So they are just set. They're ready. Our teachers kept teaching for the last 3 years, even during the virtual learning time and the lockdown. The goal was keep teaching, have the students continue learning. So they did so well on the ACT, their AP exam. So they're ready.
Yeah, and what 10% goes back to Edie White of that 4.5 million. Okay. Hey, look, let's
I don't know.
finish.
The parents want their money back.
Exactly.
Their investment. They're
Hey,
getting that back.
Luke, what do you want to study, and what's next for you, big man?
I'm going to Nichols and I'm studying accounting and I'm gonna minor in CIS.
CIS, really? Oh, that's interesting. So, would you go to an academy after that, or can you do that all on the campus?
I can do that all on the campus, and then I plan on going to law school after that.
I got you. Well, Luke, appreciate it, Michelle. Thank you guys
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
And
you.
congratulations on a tough year, but
Thank you.
seems like Edie White's doing it right. All right, we'll be right back with more Bayou Time after this.